It's crunch time in the studios of Austin Peay, here in Studio B. And today, I got the boys with me. The boys are back in town. No discredit to Ashley, though. Ashley, she did an amazing job on her first episode. But we got Isaiah on this first episode. I told y'all we coming with new faces. I'm telling y'all. But y'all know, the regular old, same old. I'm Dylan Walton.
I'm Bryce Robinson.
Isaiah Norman.
How it feel, man? How it feel?
It feel good. This is my first show. I'm ready. I'm excited. Let's get to it.
All right, y'all. So y'all know how it normally goes over here. First, we like to talk about the weekend, get everybody in the groove. We've been all over the place this morning. It's been a hectic weekend, morning. It's been one of those days. So first, well, I know how your weekend was. I've been with you all weekend.
I've been with you for a week.
Yeah. So Zay, how was your weekend, my guy?
I got this final paper I gotta do. It's 12 to 15 pages.
Woo!
Man. But hey though, we're gonna make something shake, But my weekend was cool.
What the paper on?
I'm just playing. The paper on mass communication, like theories and ethics. So it's like dealing with media and stuff like that. I'm doing my paper on media violence with children.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Know a
get
little
the
something.
violence off social media so they can get locked in. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
All right, so I ain't mad at that. B-Rob, I'm already knowing how the weekend was, but just 1 out of 10, how was the weekend?
It was about a 9 or a 10, man. It was awesome, dude. I know we're gonna hit it on another episode, so I don't want to go too far into it. But for most people know, we did go to New York, went to a CMA conference, had a great time, got to see the Big Apple.
Yeah.
And it was quite an experience, and we will get to that in detail and in depth on another episode.
For sure. But my weekend was pretty smooth. Like B-Rob said, we was pretty busy doing the conference in New York, having fun, just reaping the benefits of our hard work. So I can't wait for everybody else to do the same as well in the future. But a very motivating weekend. It put me in a different headspace. I am in a completely different realm when it comes to work. So now I'm even more motivated than I was 6 months ago, 3 months ago, even before I even got on the airplane. So I'm excited to maximize the vision that I see for myself, especially after leaving New York. But spring break, for the break, what everybody got planned, man? What everybody got planned?
I might go back home. Then again, I might not.
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't think I want to go back home. Memphis ain't a really fun place to go for spring break.
Yeah.
It's not a spring break venue. But, I may or may not. I'll probably stay up here.
Okay. B-Rob?
I'm going to Panama City, man.
Ooh,
Panama
you got the
City.
vibe. You got the motion.
I'm all over the place right now, man.
What?
I'm trying to travel, man. I'm trying to get it all in while I can before I graduate. Going to Panama City with some of my closest friends I grew up with since I was like 5 years old. Played baseball with them growing up. So I'm going to go up to the Panama City for a couple days and just kind of enjoy the warm weather, try to get a tan. And I don't know. We already know I'm pretty pale, so I need some color. So we're going to try to go get a little bronze up there.
Okay. My plans, that's actually kind of crazy. He said get bronze.
I'm thinking like bronze.
That's crazy. My plans is actually I have no idea. The girls have their tournament for the ASUN start Friday, so we will probably leave tomorrow. We play in Florida, so I get to go on another trip, but I'm not going to lie, y'all. I'm dog tired. I ain't going to lie. The only reason I'm here is for the love of the game. That's the only reason I'm here. But I actually do love this, but I'm excited. Hopefully they get at least one win underneath their belt. So y'all will hear more about that as the show go on. But as far as spring break, I don't even know, man. I need to rest. I need to sit down, be still, and not think for at least 2 days. I need to go into like an absent mental, place where I don't have to think for a few days because I've been on go for the last 2 months and some change. So, we pushing through. Like I said, we going to get the work in. But before we talk about the show, y'all, and before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything, I got two more questions. Well, I got another question. Then I just got news from my friend. So it ain't got nothing to do with Austin Peay, but, in regard to the NBA. So we're gonna talk about that for a couple seconds. Just
breaking news.
It's breaking news. It's breaking news. So, but before we get to the breaking news, what is your favorite brand / style of car? It can be any car in the world. So, B-Rob, what you got? What's the first one you got?
Man, I never really grew up a big car person, Like, I was just was something that it wasn't something I was very interested in. You know, some guys that like they could tell you the whole.
He started off so bad.
Like, listen, man, let me tell you, man. Like, I wasn't like, you know, like I didn't know much. You tell me what kind of charger. I just know what a charger because it stayed on the outside.
Yeah,
know?
I mean, no, you gotta be specific. I'm not a big car guy.
I've been really liking the Ford Broncos lately, man. I've been kind of like looking at those and take the top off in the summertime, man.
Yeah.
They're still a pretty good looking car and
Bumping that Morgan Wallen.
Bumping whatever, man. That country in summertime in a boat, man. You can't in a topless car, man. You can't beat that, bro. So.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Zay?
You can't beat that. Me, I didn't grow up a car person either until I started working in a car shop.
Yeah.
And so, I'll say a BMW.
Okay.
I like luxurious kind of cars for real. Yeah, I like the nice car smell, the new car smell.
Yeah.
That stay for like 2 months instead of 1 week.
Until you got Chick-fil-A fries at the bottom, McDonald's apple pie.
Yeah, you might be messed up then. Don't eat in your car.
What you make that
Don't
face
eat in
for?
your car.
What?
You said.
What?
Shit sound kind of hungry right now, man.
No, I did just have
I'm hungry,
Starbucks.
man.
My stomach is full right now.
I'm running off a Monster Energy drink, so I'm gonna just be 100. I'm juiced right now.
I had an Uncrustable this morning. So.
And, peanut butter or grape? I mean, strawberry or grape?
Oh, great. All day.
You
Grape
like
what?
strawberry? The grape, the little Uncrustable, the little frozen peanut butter sandwich.
I like grape and strawberry. I ain't
See,
gonna
me
lie.
too. I'm a grape and strawberry. I prefer
Strawberry go crazy though.
That's what I'm saying.
I ain't got nothing wrong with strawberry. You know, if you
You
put
just
strawberry in
prefer
front of me, I'm gonna eat it. But you know what? If I got to pick, I'm gonna go
You
grape.
gonna go grape?
All right, bet. So my favorite brand style, I'm gonna be real. Get me in that track hawk.
That track.
Get me in that tracky. I'm gonna just keep it a bean. I love the track hawk. I love the look.
Yeah.
I love the style, the big body, the wide body style, and
You got the sound effect down pat. You been practicing? You
yeah,
practicing that?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready. Man, get off.
You gonna have hydraulics too?
Nah, I ain't trying to bounce up and down in the SRT track hawk.
No
man.
spinners?
Nah, no spinner. Just keep all black and gray with a little blue like tint in it or something like
Okay,
that.
all right, I
Yeah,
got
with the chrome tint in the front. On the chrome tint in the front, all black rims. I already got it. When I get my first big check from working out this TV, so the first thing I'm doing, I own everything I love. I'm sorry, Mama. My financial advisor, I apologize. I'm getting that track off. And they discontinued them. So I definitely,
Hey, when they do that?
I think last year. I think it was last year. They discontinued the Trackhawks.
Why?
I have no idea. So
I'll be real with y'all. I don't even know what kind of car y'all talking about right now.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
man.
I'm going to throw a picture of the Trackhawk in here for y'all, actually.
That track house nice. I ain't gonna lie.
Trackhawk. Let me show you.
That junk moving too.
Big body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't nice.
I want something like that. Yeah. I'm going to show y'all. I ain't going to leave y'all hanging.
I like
But
the big body BMWs.
But the breaking news is, y'all, so I know y'all seen last
Yeah.
night, NBA player got hurt by the name of Kyrie Irving.
yeah.
And the news is that he tore his ACL and he is out for the season.
Dog, that's
Hate
tough.
to hear that, man, because you know what, they were actually going to be once AD came back from his injury.
Yeah.
They were actually, and Kyrie was playing crazy in the
Right,
past
right.
couple games. You know, that's kind of sucks to hear that, man, because you know he was actually playing really well, and they had AD coming back, man. They were going to be able to maybe make a push in the playoffs or the play-in, wherever they end up. But now that he's gone, man, I don't know how much how much AD can kind of carry the team.
And then you trade Luka, so now
Yeah,
it's
I
like
mean,
You solo.
you solo. Like it's just AD now,
Luka still could have got you to the finals by himself.
easily.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know about easily. The West tough, but he
He could have got you.
Yeah, he
he
coulda
good
got
enough
you
to
there.
get you there.
he's definitely one of those guys. Like, you know, if you got Steph or LeBron on your team, you're gonna have a chance, bro. It don't matter what the rest of your team look like. You gonna have a chance. He's one of those dudes where you got Luka, bro. He always in the conversation.
Always
That's why
in
the
the
Dallas
conversation.
always in the conversation. Just like the Chiefs, bro. You take all their guys away, bro. They got Mahomes,
They
bro.
got Mahomes.
They
can
always
do
finna be
anything.
in the conversation, bro.
Always.
So,
But
you hate to hear that, man.
and then he out for another season, the rest of this season and the majority of next year, if not all. So that's a year and a half with no Kyrie, and you just traded your insurance policy in Luka
franchise.
Doncic. Yeah, you So
Trade
Kudos
your
to him,
franchise.
bro. He came out and shot the free throws
Yeah,
too,
I'm
bro.
about to
Just
say
like
he knew it was over.
Just like Klay Thompson. Klay
Yeah.
Thompson tore his ACL in the finals, bro. Was in the locker room, walked all the way out, came back and shot the free throws. So kudos to him for being able to muscle up and get to the free throw line. And did he hit both? I don't know if he hit him or not.
Yeah.
I
He
assume-
probably
I
did.
assume
Probably
he hit him.
did.
It's
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, so, man, we hate to hear that, though, man.
Yeah, so prayers up for Kyrie.
Yeah.
Tough blow for the Mavericks, but, you know, It's the name of the game, man. It's the name of the game. Injuries happen all the time. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Especially for the guys that pour their heart out. I'm not saying that it's true. Everybody don't pour their heart out. Everybody don't pour their heart out. But Kyrie's one of those guys. He pours his heart out every day, every game, every practice. So just prayers up for him. But who also need prayers is our men's basketball team. Was that a tough transition? That was tough?
That was a tough transition.
That
That was tough. I didn't expect that one.
But as of last night, they are now done for the season. They lost to the University of North Alabama. They beat North Florida, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. They lost 69-90. Tough game, but we're going to talk about that one later. So their season is done. But they finished 7th in the ASUN conference, so they had to do a play-in game. They had to play for the 7th seed. They won that first game against North Florida. But to end the season, they lost to West Georgia again. I don't know what it is about West Georgia. West Georgia has beat the men's twice and the women's twice. So Austin Peay is 0-4 against.
They gave football a scare, too, back in the fall, man.
They did.
So they lost to them again, 73-70 on the road. I mean, what do y'all think? Just give me y'all like general thoughts of a D2 program coming in to a Division I conference. It may not be the best, but they're coming in and looking to prove something. What is y'all thoughts on just a D2 team being hungry enough to take a premier team in a mid conference off the map like that?
Well, they have nothing to lose in their eyes.
Yeah.
So they have everything to gain and nothing to lose. And they're coming in with something to prove. Like you said, they're coming in with a chip on their shoulder. And teams like that are always dangerous. And if you come in and you're not ready to play, it ain't gonna turn out well for you. It ain't gonna turn out well for you.
B-Rob?
Like you said, like if their season goes bad, they can say it's our first year being a D1 program. We're in a rebuilding phase. Like you said, nobody expecting them to come in and kind of do this their first year in Division I. So it's just kind of. They want to go out there and just kind of shock the world, like you said, it kind of goes back to the point where like there's good players everywhere, man. Like it don't matter like what level of D1, D2, FCS, FBS, man. There's good players everywhere. If you're playing college basketball or college sports, you are a good player, and there's a reason why you were there. And these guys were obviously able to do something special their first year in Division I, and hopefully they'll be able to kind of carry that on the rest of their time in this league. So
yeah, I mean, West Georgia as of right now, they looking on the upside. I mean, both of their teams finished with like single-digit wins. So I mean, but like you said, it's the first year. But you took off a couple of decent schools in your first year, so there's nothing but potential and smiles coming from their athletic side because. I mean, the sun is on their side. They have nothing but time. I mean, their contract in the ASUN is probably like 3 to 5 years, so they got time to rebuild. Their portal is a beast. I mean,
it is.
I mean, you hit the portal.
Yeah, I hit the portal.
You hit the portal. You consider hitting the portal.
I did hit the portal.
So and you came back.
No, I hit the portal and I actually went to Delta State for a day.
Oh yeah, you hit the car right back.
Yeah, I committed. I had the whole portal experience. Went on visits and did everything like that. So it's a brutal world out there.
Okay. We're gonna hit on the portal just a little bit because we won the game, right? So we won the game, but the thing is, with us losing now against North Al, a bunch of questions, right? So like we beat North Florida with an excellent second half performance. We won 90-69, right? So we had 3 players in scoring: L.J. Thomas, Isaac Haney, Darius Dawson, who went 9 of 9 from the field. All of them had 20+, and we had a well-rounded performance from the entire team. You had Tate McCubbin with 11 points, 8 rebounds. You had Anton Brookshire, 9 points, 5 assists. Javar Daniels with 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And in that second half, I mean, I think we played the best brand of basketball we could have asked for, outscoring them 52-24, basically doubling up the points if my math, well, a little bit over double. So, we did an amazing job with that. And now with this loss, we're going to have a brand-new team almost again next year. So last year, Coach Gibb, his first year, had a brand-new team, and we made it to the ASUN championships and lost by a few points. Now this year, you have a brand-new team again, and you lose in the second round, and you get blown to smithereens. That's my word, y'all. I think every time I see a blowout, I think blown to smithereens is going to be my phrase. So my thing now is, how do we get some stability? Y'all have played collegiate sports. You've seen people come in and out. And I know basketball is a little bit different because it's not 150 people on the team.
Right.
But just speak to, like, how is the camaraderie completely different year in and year out when there's just a high turnover rate?
It's different because you lose your upperclassmen, the people who bring in the culture, who stabilize the culture for the new guys coming in. And so when new guys come in, if there's no culture established, then they just feel like, well, I'll just establish my own culture from where I left. And if the coaching staff doesn't, I don't know what I'm trying to say. If the coaching staff don't get through their heads that this is the culture that we have and get everybody to buy in, that's where the struggle comes. And if you don't have people that has already been there to help you with that, then that's tough. That's tough on any coaching staff and players as well. It ain't just, the coaching staff by itself.
Yep.
And, it's the biggest thing, like Isaiah hit on, is the culture, right? That's especially when the head coach is staying, you got players coming in and out, it's important to find those what we call glue guys.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys that do stick around, those guys that do things the right way, those guys that are locker room guys and that help carry that culture over from when you have a big turnover in players, from a football standpoint, me and you both obviously play football, and
mm-hmm.
When you have a lot of players coming in and out of the locker room, guys leaving, guys coming in, new guys, freshmen,
right?
The guys that are consistently there, it is their job to bring those new guys along,
mm-hmm.
and but it's also those new guys' job to not pull against what those
Yep.
older guys are trying to take you, and obviously help implement what they already have going. It's all about building. Like they say for a reason, Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't just come in there the first day and y'all are a championship team. It takes from going through adversity together, building that brotherhood,
mm-hmm.
and finding out what kind of team you are and finding ways to win as a team. So there's a lot of things that go into making a championship team. And I feel like last year's team made to the ASUN championship. It kind of gives me that feel, kind of like how we talked about West Georgia had really nothing to play for. Nobody was expecting to do that.
Yep.
I don't really know that many people were expecting the men's basketball team to go do that last year. Instead they were kind of looked at underdogs, first year head coach. They had some they had some big media spots. When Coach came out in the Army pants, that kind of blew up on social media.
And it's still blowing up.
Still blowing up. I feel like last year's team had some things that could help amplify and put them in a spot to where they had something to play for, which nobody really expected them to do. So
mm-hmm.
second year coming in, high expectations, went all the way to the ship last year. It was kind of a rough year for them, but there's a lot of things that go into it, and hopefully they'll be able to establish some type of culture going into next year, and they can just build off it. That's all you can do.
Yep. I mean, we have a few key pieces leaving. Will have the potential of leaving. I'm not sure eligibility or if they want to hit the portal or not, but we have one of our best players on the team, Saywit. He's a grad student. I'm not sure if he's in his last semester or if he has another year of eligibility. But we haven't seen him on the court as consistently as we would like to. I don't know if it's a injury, off-the-court issues, or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure if he's not playing, it's two reasons, either injury or some off-the-court issues. So, you never know with that thing. Isaac Haney, who's been, a Gov for a little minute now, as long as I've been here. What you smiling for? What you smiling? What you smiling
It's
for?
a good Wednesday to smile, man.
It's
It's 11 a.m.
10-15. 10-15. But, Isaac Haney, who's played really well this year. I think the best he's ever played in a Govs jersey. He's a senior this year, not really sure what his plans are. L.J. Thomas, he was a transfer out of North Carolina State. This is his first year in Clarksville, Tennessee. And he had a better year this year. So you never know if he goes back to that Power 4, Power 5 level, because I think he in his head thinks he deserves to be there, and I think he does too. He's a pretty solid guard, and I don't know. We just have a bunch of players who are in their grad year, red shirt, junior, senior, who feel like they've had good seasons. And if you feel like you've had a good season, you might just test your waters out in that transfer portal. So you never know what Coach Gipp is thinking in terms of recruitment. We do have some all-star freshmen, in my opinion. I mean, Tate McCubbin. Talk about a sharpshooter. He hit 9 threes against EKU. We talked about it on the episode with Ashley last week. Very talented, well-rounded freshman. Then we have a sophomore, Javar Daniel, who stands about 7 feet tall. He's if you know anything about the NBA, Mitchell Robinson, that kind of player, very active around the rebound. So we have some players who are capable of stepping up and stepping into the shoes of the people who left. People who may leave. So we never know, because the way college sports is looking like now, it's a very, very odd but great place to be in, because it's so unpredictable. Mm-hmm. And with that, some news that we have, I guess we can talk about it now. I mean, you guys were a little late to the party, and I asked you last week, so I'm gonna ask you after I break the news. Well, not break the news, but if you haven't heard, you hearing it first. So, the athletic director Gerald Henderson has opted into. I'm reading this so I can make sure I got it right. He has opted into the NCAA proposed revenue sharing plan. So, to my knowledge, I've asked questions. So, what that is, to my knowledge, and you can correct me in the comments if I am wrong.
Please correct them.
Yes, please correct me. So, revenue sharing plan is going to be a big pot for all athletics here at Austin Peay. There's going to be a certain number that we have, and it's going to be broken up into, the football team, men's and women's basketball, golf, volleyball, just broken up into all the sports. So that way, he's pushing for these players, these athletes, these student athletes, to get some money in their pockets, to definitely get some money in their pockets. So hopefully, I understood that correctly from what I was told from other people and a couple of Google searches. So, if that's the plan that's in place, shout out to AD Gerald Henderson for that, because it's hard being a student athlete. You don't get a chance to work these little side jobs or, get these internships that pay throughout the season, because y'all busy basically from the time y'all season start to almost, to the school year is over with.
Basically year round.
Yeah, so basically year round. So you don't get those opportunities to really, capitalize on your, financial success. So I asked Bryce last week if he was in NIL at a Power 5 school, what would his cap out be, or like what was his range of millions that he would want to make. So Zay, I'm gonna ask you, man. You done been in. If y'all don't know Zay, first of all, let me give y'all a little quick bio on Zay. All right, right. So he played in the NFL. He played at the top of collegiate football. He played with Marshall and here, right? Mm-hmm. He's a champion. Let me say that one more time. He's a champion along with B-Rob. B-Rob already show y'all his rings. He a champ. He didn't play with against Patrick Mahomes. Practice against Patrick Mahomes. He's been at that top level. So whatever number he say, he is. He can say whatever number he want to, because he been to a spot a lot of people dream of. So drop that number. What NIL that contract come across your table? What's a good number for you? What's a range?
I'm a humble guy, man. Just a chill guy. I'll say my range. I'll cap out at my number was 8 in college, so I have to cap out at 8.
8 mil?
Yeah, and then I just
y'all better than me.
I'll rack up from there. If you can't make it 8 mil straight.
Welcome. It's crunch time in the studios of Austin Peay, here in Studio B. And today, I got the boys with me. The boys are back in town. No discredit to Ashley, though. Ashley, she did an amazing job on her first episode. But we got Isaiah on this first episode. I told y'all we coming with new faces. I'm telling y'all. But y'all know, the regular old, same old. I'm Dylan Walton.
I'm Bryce Robinson.
Isaiah Norman.
How it feel, man? How it feel?
It feel good. This is my first show. I'm ready. I'm excited. Let's get to it.
All right, y'all. So y'all know how it normally goes here. First, we like to talk about the weekend, get everybody in the groove. We've been all over the place this morning. It's been a hectic weekend, morning. It's been one of those days. So first, well, I know how your weekend was. I've been with you all weekend.
I've been with you for a week.
Yeah. So Zay, how was your weekend, my guy?
I got this final paper I gotta do. It's 12 to 15 pages.
Woo!
Man. But hey though, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make something shake, But my weekend was cool.
What the paper on?
I'm just playing. The paper on mass communication, like theories and ethics. So it's like dealing with media and stuff like that. I'm doing my paper on media violence with children.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, get the violence off social media so they can get locked in. That's what
people don't really get how being a collegiate athlete is like 2 full-time jobs. Like full-time in school, you full-time in sports. It's like Dylan said, you don't have time to work another job. You really don't. Like, and if you do, then you're going to be tired for practice. Like, you're not going to be able to give you 100%. Yep. That's really tough. And for them to make money off their name, image, and likeness finally for as long as college has been making money out these kids, putting them on billboards and all this stuff, bringing in tickets. It's good. I like what he's doing.
Yeah, so hopefully we can
Also,
build on
before we
that.
go in, we got some more.
Oh,
We Cuban named
that broke today.
ASUN Freshman of the Year and third team All Academic. So shout out to him.
Tate
For sure.
McCubbin,
McCubbin,
ASUN freshman of the
ASUN
year.
Freshman of the Year.
That
Cool.
broke today. Look at that.
Yeah, we
My
play
boy
for.
got Everybody got breaking news
Breaking
right
news,
now.
man.
Okay.
Find me some
y'all
breaking
heard
news.
first.
Tate McCubbin, ASUN freshman of the year. So shout out to him.
That's what's up.
He had a heck of a season. I mean, he wasn't playing that much at the beginning, but now, he got his rhythm, and you never know. That portal might be his.
And like I said, well, listen, hopefully
That
not.
portal.
But that's one.
Yeah,
of the-
hopefully not. We
That's
need
one
him.
of the guys that we're talking about who got some playing time, got some experience, got a little taste what the culture's like, experienced some success as a freshman.
He could be a glue guy.
He can be a glue guy. He can be a guy that helps. He'll probably see a lot more playing time next year and be able to help start building this thing up now to where you can be a championship and winning team. So there's an example, right, like that of some of the guys we talked about earlier. So.
Yep. So shout out to Tate. And one thing about setting culture, the AD took the trip to North
sir.
Alabama this past weekend,
sir.
and he has a video of being in the locker room after that big win. So we're gonna show you guys him hyping up the team after that big win. Then we're gonna come back with some Austin Peay women's basketball talk, and maybe I think I got another question for the guys, but we'll see. But listen to this video from AD Gerald Harrison. All right, give us a quick second. All right, so your Joe need to come up a little bit.
My solo, I can't even see that logo over there.
Yeah.
Smooth.
All right, look over there. Put them in preview. All right, look now. Yeah. You feel low?
Nah, straight.
All right, good. And then, can you turn up Zay just a little bit?
Oh, he's on 3, right?
Turn it up.
Yeah.
Turn it up. Turn me up.
Yeah.
I'm coming up, so you
and can you
better
turn up
get
B-Rob
this party
just-
started.
just a
I'm
tad.
coming up,
Just-
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah, because they was like in the negative 40, 30s a little bit.
Coming up,
All right,
so you better
hold
get
on,
this
let me
party
write what time we
started.
got in. What was it, like the 27-minute mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
That pen don't work. I don't know why.
How was it, bro? Your first one.
That was smooth.
I was a little all over the place, low key though.
We good.
I was.
It's all good.
Yeah, start me at 30.
30?
Yeah.
You got 20. Okay, yeah.
Well, hey, when it get to 29 flat. Yeah, 29 flat. So this is what we're gonna do, y'all. We're gonna open up. I'm gonna ask y'all one more question. I should have asked y'all this before. I'm gonna ask y'all your thoughts on men's college being 2 halves instead of 4 quarters.
Okay.
Then we're gonna go into women's basketball.
Cool.
28, 30?
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little all over the place in that first section, so I gotta tighten up. That's gonna be for women's basketball, right?
She has one test
All
real
right,
quick.
bless you.
All right, when you get out of it, let's go back to background.
We got 10 seconds.
Oh, you good? Take your time. Yeah. Cause I can just cut all this out.
Oh, yeah, true story.
5, 4, 3.
So as y'all seen, the AD was lit. He was turned up. He was excited to have his team get a win because if we had a first round exit, who knows what he would have said in that locker room. So shout out to the AD. I mean, has he ever pulled up to y'all locker room?
Yeah, Gerald does a good job of going out and showing his face and letting the teams know that he's got their full support. You know, I think he comes on all the road games for us. There's been plenty of times where I've seen him on the sideline chewing the refs, behind for not.
Facts.
Whether there be because so he down there at the end with President Lacari. Lacari comes to the games too.
Hey, look, did y'all see Lacari in the background cheesing hard? He was behind there. He was like,
I know Lacari. Listen,
He like-
Lacari's a big
he's like,
sports
yeah,
fan.
Gerald, hype him up, Gerald.
Lacari's a big sports fan. I love President Lacari, and Gerald does a great job of letting all the teams know that he's there to support them, and he's rooting them on. So I feel like it's really important for an AD to be there and let kind of show face. Like just sometimes ADs just. They always on the run and cooped up in their office. So kudos to him for cutting time out of his day and being able to go show support for our men's basketball teams. That's awesome.
So my question before, and this is a quick question before we get into women's basketball. Now, the only sport in terms of basketball, well, the only side, I guess, when it comes to college basketball is the men's, and they do 2 halves instead of 4 quarters. Now, I know y'all are football players, and I'm the only true hooper up here. Yeah, I said that.
Y'all heard the silence? That silence was loud.
Yeah, I said that. So, but how do y'all feel about it being 20-minute halves instead of 4 10-minute quarters? What's y'all thought on that real quick before we go to women's side of things?
Man, I always kind of wish it was 4, but you know what? I mean, it's nice to have a little switch up with something. But if I had to vote, I'd make it 4, 4 different quarters. That's just me though, because I'm kind of old fashioned when it comes to things like that. But I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. And it's a little mix up and different. It's kind of nice to have something a little different from whether it be from collegiate to pros or whatever it may be. But if I had to choose, I think I'd be a 4-quarter guy.
4 quarters.
Yeah.
I think I've always thought it was kind of weird because it's like when you get to the league, they play 4 quarters. Mm-hmm. So why, if you're trying to prepare us for the NBA, you playing 2 halves? It never really made sense to me. Like when I first came to college and watched a basketball game, I'm expecting 4 quarters, and I see half up on the jumbotron. I'm like, what's going on? Like they play 2 halves. It was just weird, I don't know. I don't get it. I want to know the science behind it.
There's something a little different when that 4th quarter hit, man.
Like the energy in the whole arena is different.
Like that buzzer go off. Hey, that 4 pops up, man. Hey, it's crunch time.
Yeah, it's real. Like it's really crunch time. Like you get to the second half, like the last 8 minutes, it's like crunch time. It's just like it ain't the same.
It just don't hit the same.
It ain't the same.
And that's my whole thing about it. Like I feel like the players now don't have the opportunity to value a quarter. Like if you start up slow in the first quarter, you can come back in the second quarter. Now I know you can be like, well, after the first 10 minutes, you can just lock back in. No, it's different when the quarter is over. You feel like, good Lord,
it's our last chance.
Right.
Yeah, like it's almost like an inning in baseball. Like when you had a long inning, you can gave up 4 runs or something like that, and then you be like, okay, we got out of there. Finally, let's reset. So I just feel like it needs to be changed. Now I'm not on no council, no board, or nothing like that. So I don't hold no weight, and neither do us up here. So I mean, I just feel like it should be changed because it's weak, man. It's weak. It's real weak. That's what I'm calling it. It's weak. It's lame. It's not good for the game. Change it ASAP. I'm stamping it, and I'm posting it everywhere so y'all can see it because they deserve to be 4 quarters, 10 minutes a pop.
Now, that's the passion of a real hooper.
Come on now. Real bucket getter. Y'all know my name.
Know that. The 4 MVP, man. The recreational MVP.
4 MVP. But also, who are the MVPs in my heart? The women's basketball team. I truly enjoy. I mean, I know I work with them, so I'm a little biased, but they have made it to the playoffs. So let's give it up for the women. They have made it to the ASUN playoffs. They ended their regular season splitting 1-1. They played West Georgia, lost again, like we've already talked about, 58-52. They beat Bellamy on the last game of the season, March 1st, 72-63. As you see a little highlight, we got a little split screen action.
Yeah, man.
Split screen.
Leveling up.
Yeah, we bougie with it. But as you can see, the Govs, Samaya White down there battling. I'm pretty sure she will probably be the ASUN Freshman of the Year. So it looks like the Govs will take home back-to-back Freshman of the Year when it comes to the women's side of things. They didn't have 2 winners when it comes to just ASUN in general on the basketball side of things. So that is just huge. As you can see, Abby Cater, Lanaya Foster, Samaya White. Yeah, just the whole team. Brianna Rivera, the sharpshooter. So I'm just extremely glad that, both our basketball teams are pretty legit. So they had some key wins against EKU. Had a buzzer beater against FAU. I mean, just look at us. Block.
Just look at us.
You know what I mean?
Take that mess somewhere, bro.
The men's side ain't had no highlights, and I'm not talking bad on the men, but let's pump up the women.
Let's pump up the women.
Let's pump up the women,
especially women in sports. I think a lot of people look down on women in sports, especially in basketball. And what's crazy, I used to be, when I came out of high school, I used to be that guy. And then I started seeing women basketball play for real. And I was like, oh, this is really lit. Like, women's sports are really lit for real. So, like, kudos to them because what they do is hard. Being an athlete is hard. And doesn't matter what gender you are, it's hard. Yeah. So.
And they work just as hard as everybody else. They show up to practice, they show up to film, they show up to the weights. They do the same amount of work, if not more. for the same amount of length they play their game. So it ain't like they season is way shorter. It's like they got to cut their work in half.
Right.
They work, and you can see the results right there. It's just straight bucket after bucket after bucket after bucket. So
That's
women,
a buck right there.
they have been working really hard, but they've took some tough losses as well this season. I mean, yeah, you see them getting stops and playing well here, but they've had some tough losses. They lost to Lipscomb in a tough battle twice this season. They lost to UCA, Central Arkansas, twice this season. The first time was at home. They lost by 1. They lost to FGCU, who's the number 1 team on the women's side in the ASUN. They gave them the best game, lost by 10 to them. They blew a 15-point fourth quarter lead to Jacksonville. Lost to Queens, lost to West Georgia. They had a 7-game losing streak.
That hurt right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know, Zay, you just not getting tapped back into everything, but just give me your overall thoughts hearing that, the tough, close losses that they had and some big wins that they had. And you see, the little highlight package.
Yeah, the little highlight package. I want to touch on what you said about 2 back-to-back freshmen of the year. That speaks on the culture.
Facts.
And so all the new girls coming in, the new recruits, they're the glue girls. We got glue guys, we got glue girls.
Come on now.
They got glue girls. And so, they can build this culture up. And I feel like you can learn a lot from a 7-game losing streak, because, you don't want to lose that many games, but it's also a lot you can learn. Like, it's not a loss, it's a lesson.
Come on now.
A
Preach,
coach
dog.
told me that. Yeah, a coach told me that one time. Bryce, you remember that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so,
I remember. Hey, wait, remember back in the mat drills? Hey, it wasn't. It'd be learner.
You're not a loser, you're a learner.
You're a
literally,
learner.
like
You
it's
learn
winners and
today. You
learners.
learn
Like
today.
you learn. So I feel like that's gonna help them grow to be a better team, and I feel like the future is bright for them. I feel like the future is pretty bright. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do next year, and see how many buckets they're gonna get next year too.
Yeah, hey, you gotta come tap in. B-Rob, I'm gonna get you in, but you gotta come tap in next year. I know you'll be gone, unfortunately, brother.
I'll still be around here.
Hey, you still tap in there now and again, but the show next year is us.
Yeah, it's up.
And, I'm going to be with them for a little part of the opening season next year. So, but tap in with the girls, man. They really be hooping. I think the freshmen that we got, like you said, that culture that we starting to set, I think is legit because the talent that we have, once they just learn how to play collegiate basketball,
Right.
I think they'll be hard to beat. So what you got, B-Rob?
I think, like I said, it's playoff time, man.
It is playoff
You're going
time.
to be on the call, so that's going to be awesome to hear. But like I said, all these close games they go throughout the year, it's good that they go through those, and you get as many of those, like we call them, like clutch games as you can, because when you start battling those, it's good to have a lot of those early in the season, because when you get in the playoffs and have those, you don't want to be like, oh, this is our first time being in this type of moment. Like that's good for football players to maybe have 1 or 2 overtime games in the regular season. But when you get to the playoffs and it happens and you play a good team, you're like, okay, this ain't our first time being here before, So I'm glad that they've been able to have a little adversity earlier in the season, whether it be earlier in the season than in the playoffs, So I'm happy that they're able to have that and be able to learn from that and build off of that. Like I said, man, it's playoff time now, man.
playoff time.
It's March.
It's playoff time.
It is March.
It's
Let me tell you
March,
that right now.
baby.
Like, from looking at all the other college basketball games around the world, man, like it is March. So I'm excited to watch them, man. Like I might even listen to you. And is Ashley gonna be on the call with you?
Nah, I'm on the road. So on the road,
Just you?
solo.
Just you. All right,
Solo,
solo
man.
dolo. So listen to a great Dylan on the call, and I'm excited to see what they're able to do, man. Hopefully, go make some noise.
So ASUN tournament starts Friday. Unfortunately, we were the last seed in the ASUN. We were 10th, but we got in. We punched our ticket. So, that's all we need.
That's all that matters.
So we will be playing in Fort Myers, Florida, home of the Eagles of FGCU. That game starts Friday, 5 p.m. Central Time. You can listen to me on the radio if you want to. Who knows? I might be good that day. I might have an off night. You never know. But I'm just playing. I should be pretty good on the call. I'm going to be excited once I get into the arena, feel the energy, because it's a big game. It's a big game. Every game from here on out is a big game because you want to punch your ticket. If you win the conference, there's only one bid in the ASUN to go to the March Madness tournament. So if you win the conference, you automatically go to the dance. So hopefully that can happen. But the thing is, we've lost to West Georgia twice, right? We've lost to West Georgia twice, and we're going to get into this quickly. I don't know how many times have y'all played a football team 3 times in one season. Just give me a quick number. How many times have y'all?
Never.
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 That's never happened.
Never
And
happened.
you want to know what's crazy? I got a little stat from ChatGPT. So it has happened in basketball. It has happened in basketball a few times. And according to ChatGPT, there's a 12.5% chance if both teams are evenly matched, which I think we are, that the team that has won the previous matchups will win again in the third matchup. So 12.5% chance that West Georgia is win. So that's what, 80% favorite on our side. The 88% chance.
88%. Yeah.
So,
there you go.
You know, quick man.
Yeah,
I tried. I was almost wrong. But 88% chance that we'll win, according to ChatGPT. Now, if you use ChatGPT, do homework, and you got good grades, then it look like ChatGPT has, ain't wrong right now. So hopefully they won't be wrong on Friday, and we can play FGCU on Saturday, because I think that'll be a very good game, because we pushed them to the wire. It was 45-35 on the road at they homecoming. I was on the call for that game. We had them on the ropes, and we just dropped it. Now, before we go into softball that's been on fire, you talked about it a little bit while we was going through the highlights, the evolution of women's basketball.
Right.
Bryce, just give me your thoughts of how the evolution of women's basketball has just changed, and like, how do you think they can just go further and blossom up to a different level in the coming years?
Listen, like I was kind of in the same boat as they. Coming into college, I didn't really tune into much women's sports, but like just being here and like being able to mingle with other student athletes. And to be able to go out and we and as football teams, we go out and watch the women's basketball. We go out and watch the beach volleyball and whatever it may be, and just seeing how they go out there and how serious they take it and what their competition level is like. Like they really get after it.
They really get after it.
Like just being able to, and I really think that they've taken, especially this past year, with Caitlin Clark and everything, like jumping to the women's WNBA, stuff like that. I think it's only going to continue to take steps, because you're going to have other girls want to come up and take that next and fill that role like that she was, to be the kind of the face of the college basketball level. You're going to have new girls that want to be able to work harder and be able to be that person that she was, and it's only going to grow from there, I feel like. So they're in a good spot right now. I think this is one of the biggest years that, especially women's basketball's ever had. So I'm excited to kind of get into it more and learn more about it, and just being able to become a bigger fan of the game. So
I think women's sports has taken an absolute tremendous jump. I've been a fan for like five and some change, talking about years. So I'm going into my 6th season next year as a true fan. And when I say a true fan, I mean I watch everything. So I'm excited to see the jump. I'm glad that they're getting the flowers that they deserve, the roses, the dandelions, the tulips, all of the above, because they do deserve it. Women already go through a lot in this world. I'm not trying to touch on any other tough subjects, but, we know. They go through some very tough things. So I just want women to feel appreciated by us, by the CrunchTime crew, because, they work twice as hard as men sometimes, and they don't get the respect that they deserve. So with that, we're going to go into the softball, because we're going to get them they flowers.
Talk about being hot.
They
are hot right now.
They in the kitchen cooking with Crisco, deep frying the fish on a 250,000 degrees Fahrenheit. They are cooking. They are.
Hey, I like that.
Hey, I came out with that. I came out. They are on a 14-game win streak, y'all. 14-game win streak. They beat the number 22 Florida Atlantic University, FAU, which is their first ranked win in program history.
Yeah, clap that up right there.
First ever. I mean,
that's historic.
That's a historic moment, and I hate that I could not watch, because we were in New York. My feelings were low-key kind of hurt that I could not watch. But that's not even the only big thing yet, y'all. In the mid-major polls, the women are ranked 20.
Whoa.
They're ranked number 20.
Oh, it's up.
So, we got a good chance of going to the dance in terms of the mid-major poll. I'm not sure how softball works. I'm still learning the ropes of everything. This is my 2nd year being a true fan, so I'm not really sure how everything works. But when the season gets going and we hear every week faithfully, we'll learn, and we'll be able to break it down to what it means to actually be ranked in the mid-major polls. So they're in the middle of a 12-game homestand. They beat MTSU at home, Morehead State, and like I just said, FAU. So we're currently 6-0. We're halfway through that homestand. 6 more games to go. So if you're here over the break in the Clarksville area, come tune in to a game because you see, they get amazing catches. They hit home runs. I mean, when you think about it, I'm going to list just the home run hitters of the season. You have, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing some of these names. I'm still getting in the flow of everything. So we have Sam Lesky. She has 6 home runs. Kylie Hinton, 5 home runs. Katie Raper? Yeah, 5 home runs. Kylie Campbell, 3 home runs. Kaylee Roper, 3 home runs. And then she doesn't have many home runs on the season, Sammy Shalander, but she has 20 RBIs.
Man, that can be just as good as a home run, man.
What?
Because
20?
You're knocking more.
You bringing people in.
You bringing people in.
Like, kudos.
You putting points on the board.
Come on.
Austin Peay, like I said, for baseball and softball, we hit the ball, man.
Yeah.
And not only do we hit the ball in softball, they throwing that thing too on the rubber, man. They are getting after on the rubber, man. Like you got to put all phases of the game together. Like you got to be able to put the runs up, but also kudos to them for being able to hold their opponents to the short margins that they have to be able to get these wins. And like I believe the last game they beat Northern Kentucky 3-2. Like grinder of a game. Yeah, you put up just one more to beat your opponent, but kudos to the pitcher and the defense for only keeping them to 2 runs on the game. So like kind of like our baseball team we'll talk about her in a minute. Like they do a little more. They struggle a little bit more on the bump than what than softball does. So it's kind of good to see softball rolling like that.
Yeah, and like you said, that pitching is catching up. 2 pitchers, in my opinion. I looked at the stats. We have 4 total pitchers, but 2 who really just stand out. Maybe 3, but her ERA was a little bit too high for me. Ashley Martin, her ERA is 1.66. And if you don't know what that means basically nobody's hitting the ball on her. They're struggling. I mean, she's 4-0. She has 29 strikeouts. And the best stat that I've seen, her opponent's batting average is a 197. Woo. Talk about heater, right? And then the other one, Emberly Nichols, right? Her ERA is 2.97. Not too bad, right around the average. A little bit better than the average, technically. Right. She's 6-2 in her record as the starting pitcher or the closing pitcher. That is the way that record thing works is kind of tricky because you can play the majority, but if the closer finishes, sometimes they get
the win or they get the close. It's a little. It's a little. Sometimes the numbers are a little skewed, but from the way our teams are playing, they're pretty solidified on you go off the stats.
Yeah. So Nichols, she has 18 strikeouts on the season, and her opponent's batting average is still great. It's a 2.34. So I mean, I think the pitching is pretty good. Not being able to have your opponents hit the bat, and I know you're getting new to this baseball and softball things, but just speak to the defense. You're a defensive. You play DB, so just speak to. That defensive side and holding the team down on the other end and letting the offense take care of the side of the ball because the pitching right now is holding down the side of the ball and letting the offense just go out.
So defense, if you could always keep a team from scoring, you could win anything. So the coaches tell us, like, if they don't score, they don't win.
Thanks.
And looking at the stats, 29 strikeouts, 18 strikeouts, that is pretty good. I can't lie. Like
40, I think that's 47 strikeouts between the both of them, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, and then our offense matched the defense. Once the offense matches the defense energy, that's all well good because all them home runs you just stated in the stats. I'm like, dog, if you want to know how hard it is to hit a home run, go to a baseball game and look how far the gate is. It's pretty far.
I think in softball it's right around like 200
feet.
Yeah, I think it's 200 feet, and then for the men's it's like 350, 400. Right around there.
Every field's different. Average, you got probably about 325 left and right. Dead center probably around 400.
Yeah. So just imagine trying to hit that at least once a game.
Listen, just being able hitting the baseball and hitting the softball is probably one of the hardest things to do in sports. And just your reaction time. Like you got to be able to see the ball out of the pitcher's hands. Nowadays they're throwing them wild pitches. You got the sliders, knuckleballs, you got
12 knuckle curve,
you got rise balls and softball. So like I said, and sometimes getting out of the way of them things too. Sometimes the pitcher might let one slip a little bit. Right. It happens. You got to be able to duck and get out of the way and be able to. It takes a lot of skill to be able to hit a baseball and a softball. So it's definitely one of the toughest things to do in sports.
And you know what they say? Defense wins championships.
Come on now.
That's right.
Come on now.
Come on, man.
Defense does win championships, and. If you have anything to do if you don't have anything to do over, you know what? If you do have anything to do over, scratch that. Go to a softball game.
Yeah, that's right.
Scratch your plans, change your calendar around, go to a softball game because guess what? This Wednesday, I know the weather may be a little iffy. It's supposed to rain, but we don't know.
game could move,
But
we'll see.
we do play the team that we thou shall not name, right? We do play them. The softball team plays them at 4 o'clock Wednesday. So, pop out to that and show softball teams some support. And then over the break, they play Appalachian State, Bucknell. They play some other teams around, the world, I guess. I don't know where they from. So tap into that and see us tack on some dubs because they going to come here and they going to get right back on their bus because they ain't going to be here too long. We're going to get them about 5-6 minutes. So quickly, we got probably like 10, 12 minutes. Let's talk about the baseball team, right? The baseball team, they kind of getting their groove back going, right? They had a historic season last year, 35-21. They were ASUN champions. A lot of key players went to the draft in the minor leagues now, but they are 8-4 on a 3-game win streak in the midst of a 7-game homestand. Unfortunately, they lost to the Blue Raiders, MTSU, before that 3-game win streak started, 9-10. So it was a really good game. I mean, we have some really key players. Eastern Illinois, we swept them 12-5, 5-4, 9-2. And then I think one of the best players that I've seen this year is Cameron Nickens. He had 6 home runs, 15 RBIs, and then you have Gus Freeman, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, and then John Bay. My good old guy, John Bay. He has 2 homers on the season with 6 ribbies. And those guys have played extremely well. I mean, look at us knocking it out the park. I went to the, Purdue, Fort Wayne. And then look at this catch, first of all. Hold on. Let's look at it. Going almost into the back wall. Did you play outfielder, Bryce?
Yeah, I played center field. Let me tell you right now. Being able to catch a ball like that, and because you're running backwards, you got to be able to. The good thing about outfielders is they know how to track the ball. You know, like if you take one wrong step forward or backwards, you're gonna misjudge it and you're gonna miss the ball. So when you have a ball hit straight over your head like that, and you are on a full-on sprint toward that back wall, but it's also important for your left field. Say you're playing center field, your right fielder and left fielder say, hey, you got room, or hey, wall, just to be able to have conscious idea of where that wall's at. But just for him to be able to go all out like that, just knowing there's a chance that he could hit the wall and make that catch, kudos to him because that is not easy to do.
It's not easy. That takes tremendous skill.
You play safety. How on a scale of 1 to 10? Or you play DB, so in that secondary. But how hard do you think it would be to translate from playing DB in football to playing outfield in baseball?
I mean, a lot of the greatest DBs were outfielders in football. So, I played with a guy in high school. He went to UT Knox for baseball, but he was a great outfielder. But he was a corner, had 10 picks in the season. So, really, I feel like baseball helps you track the ball better, honestly. Because it's hard because you got a helmet on, the helmet, cover your eyes like this. And quarterbacks nowadays are throwing it to where you can't see. So, you got to turn your head. You got the shoulder pads on. You feel like the whole – I'm just being honest, right? And so, with baseball, you don't have all that equipment on, but it's still harder because the ball is this big. The ball ain't that big, so you got to see. It's in the sunlight. It's pretty tough, but I feel like baseball is a lot harder. But in football, I'll give it an 8. In baseball, it's 10 to 10. Football is 8 out of 10.
Okay. All right. Not too bad. So, quickly, the pitching, it's been a struggle for both baseball and softball. But so far, they're doing pretty well. I mean, Lyndon Glidwell, that's how I got that off the stat sheet. So, I hope I'm saying that correctly. His ERA is a .97. And he has 7 strikeouts. Now, he's only played a couple of games, but he's got that record as well. So his ERA is extremely well. Then you have Cody Arrington. His ERA is a 2.76 with 14 strikeouts. So they have played an extremely great brand of basketball after dropping the first few games. They played a tough schedule out there in Texas. Not Texas, Arizona. The women in softball played in Texas. They played in Arizona tournament to start the season. So they kind of started off slow. They played some tough comp, and, you want to play tough comp in the beginning of the season to see what your team is really made of. So, I mean, Coach Fanning, he's been doing his thing.
He's got the guys rolling, and, he's a great coach, and he's the right man for the job, especially for Austin Peay, And a quick shout-out to Cameron Nickens, too, ASUN Player of the Week, 10 RBI week. I believe he went 10 for 19. Average 5.26. That means he's getting on base every other time. So that's when you can get on base at least every other at bat, you're gonna be in a good spot for your team. So shout out to him. Shout out to Coach Fanning for getting the guys rolling, and hopefully they'll be able to add up some more wins in the win column coming up here soon.
Yep, Coach Fanning knows how to pick them. They've done a really good job over the last few years that I've been paying attention, and like you've heard. You've seen at least 3 players from Austin Peay get conference recognition. So that means that we're up and coming when it comes to these sports. So you need to tap in with us before it's too late. Don't get on the bandwagon. Don't get on the train when it's too late, when we on and popping and that NIL money really hitting different. Don't come on there when the table look good and I got on Balenciaga and all that and I got that Gucci and all. Come on there when I got that great value on. You know what I mean? When I still got that great value on. So I'm excited to really see that our players are really stepping up and they're showing out, because the way that this program is going is only up and up, and that's why the AD is opting into this NIL deal and getting them money in their pocket. So we have some other notable accolades from other Austin Peay sports, and once I read it off, I want you guys to just give you a quick opinion before we hit the road.
Gotcha.
And me and Bryce give you a little recap of what we did in New York. So we got a little bonus for y'all. So, but before we get into that, track and field 4x400 meter relay program. I wish the young ladies' names were on the Instagram post that I seen. Can somebody double check that? Go to Let's Go P, and then see if their names on their Instagram, see if the names were on that post or anything like that for the track and field. But they broke the program record. It was 3 minutes, 43 seconds, and 21 milliseconds. So they
moving.
They're moving.
They broke that, and that was really, really good. The weight throw from Emma Tucker, she broke the program record as well, throwing 17.79 meters. I don't know how far that is, but I'm not good at conversions, but I'm assuming it's pretty far. The triple event winner, Madeline Kokic, I hope I'm saying her name correctly as well. She won the triple event. I'm not sure what's in the triple event. I'm going to just be real with y'all. Track and field is brand new to me.
I can't. I did track and field in high school.
So,
but I don't know what the triple event is.
So whatever she did it 3 times and she won 3 times. So, so she goated in my book. Shout out to Madeline. The baseball, ASUN Player of the Week, like you just said, Cameron Nickens, and then beach volleyball. They starting off slow, but they're getting everything going right now. They're 1-5, but they do have a tournament this weekend in the Atkins Family Beach, so it's at home. So, like I said, if you got anything planned, scratch that and come watch some Austin Peay Sports, because like you hear, we're breaking records what it seemed like every other day, and we're earning awards. So just y'all being a part of that collective, going to these other events and everything like that. Did y'all ever find those names? I didn't see those names.
I didn't see them. I just looked for them.
Do you see them in the report?
For the
For the track and field,
for the
4x4
relay,
team.
It says for the four. I just had it right here. Where'd it go? Darn, hang on.
That's pretty impressive.
That's what I'm
4
saying.
minutes and
3
3 minutes and 43 seconds is very
I just
fast.
had it right here. It said Asinga led the way in the unseeded 400 meter. Is that it?
I'm assuming so.
Place-
4x400 meter relay.
Placing 5th with the time 57.55.
No, that's not it.
That's not it. Okay, hang on.
When I heard the time, I knew.
Y'all
I'll tell
see-
y'all this. It usually takes the average time to take run a 400 meters. 1 lap around the track is like a minute. So for 4 people to do it under 4 minutes, that means that every one of them is running at least 50 seconds. So if you think about that, they're moving. They're moving. I ran the 400. I couldn't stand the 400, but I ran the 400. I ran it when I was younger, so I ran like a 103, but I was like 9 years old.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
To wrap up the meet, the 4x400 meter team of Bracey, McGee, Segre, and Asinga posted the 4th fastest relay time in indoor program history.
Shout
3
out
of the
to
top
them.
10 are owned by this year's team.
Say their name again.
It is Bracey, McGee, Segre, and Asinga.
Okay. So shout out to those young ladies for breaking their program record, and Emma Tucker, Madeline Kokic, Cameron Nickens for getting his ASUN Player of the Week, Tate McCubbin, ASUN Freshman Player of the Year.
They're making moves
for men's basketball. That's what I'm saying.
Look at motion.
And I'm pretty sure whenever the news break later on today, that we will have Samaya Wyatt as our ASUN Freshman of the Year. So I hope that we get that. Let's hope and pray that we get that as well. But that's really it, guys. You know, the boys is on the crew today, so if it seemed like it was all over the place, because the boys were being boys today, y'all. The boys were being boys today. So before we hit the road and get on up out of here, I just want to say thank you to everyone that made this happen. Professor Ellison, Steve Sawyer. Y'all send prayers up for my boy Steve, man. Y'all,
He down today?
Yeah, he down today, man. He down and out today. But we're going to hold it down for our guy. We're going to hold it down for
As
Steve.
always.
Because without Steve, we wouldn't have this knowledge that we have now. So
Yes, sir.
we appreciate you, Steve. You know, get better, my guy. We know he going to bounce back stronger than ever because, hey, I heard that the bald heads have immune health.
They bounce quick. They bounce back quick.
They bounce back quick. It's something about all the extra knowledge that they get. I heard that's what they get. So if you got a ball head, man, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for anything that
You know what it is? They absorb the sunlight.
Come on now. It's the photosynthesis. Let me stop. But our studio manager, Dr. David Van Poco, we appreciate you guys. I'm Dylan Walton.
And I'm Bryce Robinson.
Your boy Isaiah Norman.
And, oh, wait, y'all, we do have an extra little time because I forgot about something. We gave you that video, but tune in to Austin Peay Sports. Tune in to CrunchTime, Chat GTA. We got everything. We'll see y'all. It's CrunchTime. Boom!